Welcome back to Ms. World Traveler in Auckland. It is known as the City of Sails because it has more than 500,000 yachts and sailboats anchored in its multiple marinas at any one time. With such great access to water, it's easy to see why water activities are a big part of Auckland culture. So are parks. In 1843, 75 hectares were set aside around the cone of an extinct volcano to become Auckland Domain Park, the oldest and largest in the city. Art Deco style was embraced with the addition of the Winter Garden, and in the 1920s, the neoclassical style War Memorial Museum was added as a lasting tribute to fallen servicemen and women. If offbeat and a little bit eccentric is your vibe, head to Karangahape Road for a hip blend of street art, quirky cafes, and a profusion of vintage stores. It is also where I met designer Sarah-Jane Duff of Lost and Led Astray.
Okay.
So Sarah-Jane.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I love your store, and I love this area that you're in. Can you tell me a little bit about this? It's very funky, it's very vintage, it's got a lot of personality.
Yeah, Karangahape Road is always been known as more the red light district of Auckland.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, it's always got to have its place.
To it?
You always got to have its place, right? Everything's got to have its place. And I think what comes from that is always the diversity and the I guess smaller businesses trying to make a start somewhere, and yeah, so there's lots of small businesses here, and yeah, lots of vintage and lots of street people, and yeah, we're all just like a little melting pot of lots of different things. Lots of delicious food.
Oh, well, that's what's important.
Yeah, exactly.
And the name of your brand is Lost and Led Astray.
Yes.
So that's an incredibly fun name.
Thanks.
How did you come up with it?
Oh, my friend actually did. We were chatting and she did, and then I realized when we did it that it was Lala, and when I was younger I wanted to call my brand Lala, so it was one of those moments where I was like, oh, done, we're done now.
Yeah, click.
No more thinking, because it's quite hard to think of.
It is.
Yeah.
It's something that you're going to have to live with for
a
while, right? You want to get it right.
Yeah, you do. It's been 10 years almost now, so it's still all right.
So take me back then, 17 years. How did you come up with the idea? Why?
10 years ago, I worked for someone else as their designer in plus size, and then I actually went and did buying in plus size as well. So I've sort of got New Zealand made and China made under my belt before I started doing this, where I decided it was my turn to do something for myself. And I just started. I was on what we call the dole, so I had no money to my name, and people just trusted me that I'd worked with before in the industry and let me place orders and owe them money, and I began.
Great.
Yeah, I managed to have such good orders that it didn't take me probably about a year, and then I just got to do this full time.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You were brave enough, ready to go and do your own thing.
It was time. Yeah, definitely. Well, I just really love doing plus size. I mean, clearly I have a fat body, so I definitely relate to it, and I believe in the visibility and just making women feel good about themselves, and that size shouldn't have so many limitations, and getting good design and creating garments that actually fit a body rather than just go around a body, I think is really important.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, you have in your workroom lots of patterns.
a lot.
So, how do you construct them for plus size as opposed to regular size? You have to make different kinds of patterns, right?
Yeah, you pattern make differently. I think in plus size, you're actually trying to fit something that has more shape to get around, because you're like, my bust obviously needs more shape on it to fit around. So you're trying to manipulate I guess more fabric into different areas. It's pretty hard to talk about. I think
it's harder to put it in words.
Yeah, because you just sort of do it.
Yeah,
you're just sort of doing it, and we're not stingy with fabric, I guess, is another thing for what we're trying to do.
Okay. So are there some fabrics better than others?
I try to use natural fibers. We pretty much
so like cotton, linen,
or especially, and then viscose and rayon, because they hold their the color better, and they have a lovely drape, and they wash so easily as well.
Which is important these days, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't have time to iron. I can't be bothered.
Right. Well, who wants to dry clean?
Oh no,
right?
no. And then
not in our language anymore.
Nah,
right?
it's boring. Yeah, I wouldn't say there's stuff that's better. I prefer things that drape a bit more than so structured. But
and maybe flow.
Yeah, but you can still do different things. You've just got to do the right cut with the right fabric as well. I guess we try and make sure we fit shoulders really well, and make a sleeve that fits and you can move around in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody wants to be, just constricted, right, in the clothes that they wear.
Yeah.
So do you do some of your own patterns? Are these some of your fabrics, or are you sourcing the fabrics?
So we do all our own prints, and we get that all done by someone up in China, who I'm about to meet in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited to meet her. And we source a lot of fabrics through her as well. But like things like this, we got to design the actual anglaise pattern this season, and then she dyed them to our colours. So we're quite fortunate with her and what she can do for us.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I just like the idea of doing something more geometric than floral for our anglaise, just to mix it up, I guess.
Love the whole mix it up.
Well,
right?
yeah, like
mixing things up. So like this is a really beautiful pattern. I was saying earlier that it almost looks like watercolors that were just allowed to do their own thing.
Throw it at a wall. So we work with different people to create different things or buy them out exclusively, so that we have our own prints and get them printed for us, which I love, because I like the idea that that's all the fabric there is. We're producing for what we need, and that's it, rather than having surplus fabric around.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're economically conscious.
Yeah, environmentally
conscious.
Yeah, I feel like that's a nice way of doing things when you make what you need.
Well, and also then not everybody else is having the exact same fabric and making things out of it. So it's exclusive to you. Yeah,
which I think is really cool. Well, yeah, because I think we're one of the only plus size brands that actually works quite intensively on fitting to the plus size body. So it's pretty special what we're creating, and I just want more and more women to feel that feeling of things that fit their bodies properly, and it's made for their body rather than just graded up, like you're saying, and and that feeling of loving your body now as it is, and dressing for that, and walking with confidence, and
dressing for today. Tomorrow's a different story, but today, look and feel great.
Well, who cares about tomorrow if you haven't had a good today? Like there's I think it's really important that we as plus size women stop thinking about what I could look like, or when my body changes I will do this. It's like, no, let's just enjoy life and live it. And
well, I talk to a lot of women who say shopping is a painful experience.
Yeah, it can be really awful
because they can't find things.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's just depressing. Come and shop with us. Well, it's the truth. It'll actually fit their body. Like it's made specially to fit our different proportions and, you know, like I have a big bust and a big tummy, but a flatter bum, where other people, you know, like we really think about all those things when we're creating these ranges.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and you have a workroom right back here.
Yeah.
We should come back and have a look at the workroom.
Okay. It's really messy.
That's all right. It's a workroom. So we've made our way back to the workshop, and there's lots of patterns back here, some samples here. So can you just kind of tell me about the process that you go through? You know, the condensed version.
Yeah, I know. I'm like the process. Because I'm constantly thinking about what I want the ladies to wear, or I want to wear. I love Pinterest.
It's a good place for inspiration, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's fun to just see different ways people are doing things. I think when you're doing plus size as well, you're kind of a brand that's many things to many different people, and you're trying to dress people with quite different styles, rather than like, I think some brands, the way I view them is they have their look, where I feel like our look is that we dress fat people, and that's what we do. More than anything, April will discuss the style, talk about it, talk about what would take it from, or why we want it, and who it's going to wear it, and what body it's going to fit. Like, we kind of go through a bit of a process on discussing it. Yeah.
Conceptually.
Yeah, and then April will make a pattern, which is these guys. Then you have your sample one, which we then cut out and make the sample, and then we'll fit that and see how it looks. And
how does it drape? How does it
fit?
Is it comfortable?
Yeah. Is it what we wanted?
Yeah.
Did it
get from here to here?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And then after that, I'll draw pictures when it's a bit more final. But then that's like my latest range down that end, which is all finalised for winter coming. Then it goes into production.
So you're working 6 months or more ahead?
Yeah, you have to, because you need like 3 to 4 months to produce.
Right.
Yeah.
And then are you making anything here, or is it really just the samples you're doing here?
Yeah, we don't make much at all. The samples we don't actually make either. We outsource that to Anita. I do my knitwear in China, and then I do a fair trade range with basics and stuff out of Bali.
Great.
So kind of.
So you're a little spread out.
Yeah, just trying to work out.
This is the hub.
Yeah.
Of all of the creativity and what's
absolutely.
happening.
Yeah, but there's definitely like looking at different parameters. Like, I love working with my China knitwear factory because I can get things at a better price point than what I can here, but they have incredible machines and they work with really nice yarns and all that kind of stuff, because I want more women to be able to wear it rather than
to have it so exclusive.
Yeah,
that
like,
only a few people can afford.
Yeah,
to
especially
wear it, right?
Yeah, I think working plus size, because I would love to dress a lot of people. Yeah, I want everyone to feel good.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you for what you're doing.
You're welcome.
You know, it's a lot of women can really appreciate.
Yeah.
The thought.
Yeah.
And the creativity that you put into helping them feel beautiful.
Yeah. Yep. That's us.
A fit-obsessed designer, Sarah-Jane believes that there is power in looking and feeling good about what you wear for women of every size and shape.
They may speak English here, but it's pretty easy to tell we're not in Kansas anymore. They're all decked out for Christmas, even though it is summer, and you have to keep your wits about you when crossing the road because they drive on the wrong side, I mean the left. I'm Ms. World Traveler Kerry Damiano, reminding you to travel safe, shop smart, dress well, and be grateful for every day.